I wanted to show you a number of tools that I've been using to work through my text data. I have created an enormous number of transcriptions, all saved into text files. Saving text files allows for great manipulation. These are all transcriptions of audio, what my particular research participant had been saying at the time. And one of the things I had to do is I had to tag certain characteristics. Those characteristics I put inside of brackets. Well, rather than typing each bracket at a time, I wanted a shorthand way of doing this. And essentially, what I've done was I've created a macro where I select a sequence of text and I hit Control-Z and it puts a bracket around it. To actually accomplish this, I created a macro using this program called Keyboard Maestro editor and Keyboard Maestro. And what it does is it says when I hit Control-Z, it copies whatever I have highlighted, and then it repastes whatever I have highlighted inside of brackets. And that allows me to go through my text rather quickly and insert tags. The next thing that was critical for the next phase of analysis was to actually create a list of all of my bracketed items and to remove all the items that were not bracketed. So to do so, I had to use another feature inside Text Wrangler, which is what's called a grep search. And a grep search essentially is kind of using a bit of, it looks like Perl coding in a way, but it's basically using the find and replace, but with grep it's looking for particular patterns. And so you notate the type of pattern you're looking for. This says that I'm looking for a pattern as indicated by the brackets, and the pattern contains angle brackets inside, and there has to be a text string as opposed to a numerical string, and it allows for any other character or space inside the text string. And this limits how long along the line it can actually see. And then what I'm going to do is once I've found it, I'm going to replace it with a specific sequence. This /1 is basically like a pronoun that refers back to everything here. So it's going to basically repaste the thing that I found. However, it's going to repaste with a hard return on either side. So in a way, it's kind of like this other macro that I had, just for inserting tags, except that now what I'm doing is I'm inserting hard spaces within Text Wrangler. So what's the effect? Well, the effect is this. Basically replaces everything, puts everything onto its own line, and then I have to go through an extra step and sort the lines so that I get all of my like text together. That is to say, like everything that starts with a bracket I want clumped together. And lo and behold, I have a list of lines and all of my bracketed items are sorted here. And now that makes it easy for me to copy and paste into another document, or what I'm more likely to do is to delete everything around it. Occasionally what you're going to find is an error. For example, that was lacking a space and therefore did not pick it up. So I'm sure I could write better code to capture this, but my technical knowledge is kind of limited at the moment. Of course, I have to save it. Well, I use Keyboard Maestro to actually sequence all of those tasks. So make lines basically uses the find and replace set, and then it goes to the sort line set, and then it saves my document. And it really allows me a lot of time savings in keystrokes. So what I get with a new document is this. I simply hit Control 1, which is my hotkey according to Keyboard Maestro. It rips through its procedure and does a quick sort, at which point I can come along and delete everything that is not necessary. And save it again. I'm sure there is a way of programming it to delete extra lines and extra text, but once again, my limits of technical knowledge are pretty flagrant. So once again, this just allows me to go through this very quickly, and I can go through a dozen documents in no time. And then I can go back. I try to keep all like operations together. Thank you, Henry Ford. And it just allows me to be thorough and work with large amounts of text rapidly. And so what I'm going to do now is I have dated material 12/2, and I've isolated particular language codes of interest for that date.